Hi, everyone. It's Maddie.
And I'm Bleeves, and we are here with the Chicago Bearscast to talk about the Chicago Bears game yesterday, in which Tyson Bagent, the new Superman in Chicago, is it too early to say that, or is he the new Superman in Chicago? Anyway, leads the Chicago Bears to a 30-12 victory over. Do you want to say it? The Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders. Why we call them Las Vegas? That's just the deal there. So, what did you think?
Well, I have to be honest, I didn't really get to watch much. I watched like some of the third quarter, I would say, and then a little bit of the fourth. But other than that, I watched like 10 minutes the start of the game, and that was about it. It's kind of hard. I've just been seeing snippets on Twitter and Instagram.
Well, so the final score comes in the Chicago Bears 30, the Las Vegas Raiders 12. Tyson Bagent has a wonderful game. I believe he goes 22 for 29, around 140 yards. I wouldn't call that game breaking. I wouldn't say that he did anything special. If I'm the head coach, if I'm Matt Eberflus, I'm feeling really good about what I'm doing right now. I'm feeling really good about the last week or so. I'm super happy with his performance, but I'm not ready to make him the starter. I would not be close to that because the defense, the Chicago stepped up so big and made it easy for a team that was looking for something like this to happen.
Yeah.
What parts did you watch? What did you get to see?
Well, I saw the Jalen Johnson interception. I don't know how many did he have?
Back to back.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, he need extend him, pay him. Like I that shouldn't be a question now. Honestly, it's really hard. I just see snippets on Twitter. I didn't get to see much. I like looked at the stats. I saw we had 3 interceptions though. And I love interceptions. So like I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see that live. But what did you see?
So what I saw, first play of the game, Tyson Bagent throws to, I'm going to throw numbers out here. Number 21, who drops the ball on 3rd and 7, and I think, oh no, here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Raiders get the ball, they go 3 and out as well, and then the Bears get the ball, and the Bears just start moving. Between Darrington Evans and Deontay Foreman, they were like a two-prong attack that was just beating down the Las Vegas Raiders. They had no answer. And then Tyson Bagent made every single throw that you could possibly make. There was a trick play early on where they got DJ Moore involved. And I said, "Oh wow, look at this! One of the first play of the game, we got DJ Moore involved. We've got Deontay Foreman punishing, going down the field. We've got Tyler Scott running everywhere across.
I like that guy.
He had 2 running plays. None of them were huge. Nothing was huge, but he was breaking the plays. He had a couple of receptions. We had Darnell Mooney getting involved. DJ Moore, I think, had 9 targets, 8 receptions, 54 yards, no touchdowns, but Deontay Foreman had a catch for a touchdown. I think that was the only touchdown that Tyson Bagent threw, but no interceptions, no fumbles. Here's the thing. The team came out inspired. And as the game progressed, here's what I always feel. I always feel like when Chicago Bears are playing that they're not going to adapt to the game. They're not going to stuff in the second half. They're going to start playing weak. They're going to give up a little bit. They're going to feel like they can coast through it. And all of a sudden, this team did not do that. Now, the only change was Tyson Bagent. So I think that he makes people feel better. I think that he makes them want to play harder, and it cannot be stressed enough that that's a big deal. I think that is a very big deal for a team that was really in need of what happened on the field. And I think TJ Edwards, by the way, was the one that had the other interception.
Okay. And going back to that, like we talked about this last week in the Vikings game, when Tyson Bagent came in, like at first I feel like everyone's like, oh my God. I saw on Twitter people were just leaving like the stadium. But I feel like everyone was like, you said it best, like starting to believe like we could come back from that. And just looking at the statistics of the game, it seems like the Bears held up like the entire time. Like what I've read is like we were confident we were going to win that game when we had the 7-0 start. So
Yeah, it felt like it at no point. Now, matter of fact, you and I were texting, and I was telling you that what you've got to do, what we've got to do right here is we've got a touchdown right here.
Yeah, not a field goal.
Right. We don't. If we get a field goal, then this game is still live, and we got a field goal. And I was like, damn it. And then right away, Jalen Johnson comes in with the big interception, and they march down the field. And this is incredibly telling. And I don't want to, by the way, I do want to say that I think, and I've been a Tyson Bagent maxi since the beginning of the year, but I think Justin Fields would have done the same thing. I think he would have they had longer than 12 plays. Those are sustained drives that suffocate and wear out a defense during the course of a game. And they were just so on top of everything. He was making quick reads. The offense was in the Las Vegas Raiders line, which, to hear the Raiders tell it, the Raiders fans, they're now the worst team in the history of football. But they were 3-3 coming into the game.
I'm so sick of that. Like, I don't get it. People were coming at me when I finally tuned in a little bit, and they were like, "Oh, it's just the Raiders. Oh, it's just the Bears with a second string quarterback, an undrafted quarterback." Like, I have to be honest, we were not expecting to win. Like, I feel like going now that we went 0-4, when we started 0-4, every game we were going into, like, now it's like, okay, there's slim to none chance we're really going to show up and win a game, or at least show improvements but not finish the game. Right. And the Raiders had an overall better record. Our offense is not very good, but I mean, our defense has been putting together these past three games ever since Matt Eberflus took over. I don't know what he's doing, but we need to keep it up.
The Chicago Bears are now they're giving up 14 points a game in the 3 games that Matt Eberflus has been taking over the defensive coaching duties. Do you think the turnaround that Chicago's been looking for, and the turnaround that this city and this team has been looking for all of this time, or is this just a blip on the radar? Because we did lose last week, but we weren't out of the game. This was 3 games in a row that we've put together a fairly solid performance overall. So is this the corner turning, and was always right the second half of the season, we're just going to pick up and get better and better and better as we go? Is that what's going to happen?
I think it's really hard to judge because I don't want to get be so hurt in the end. But the quarterback position is still the biggest question of it all. And I can't go out there I read that Justin Fields is unlikely to start on Sunday. And so I'm excited to see Tyson again, put 2.5 games together now. And then I feel like we'll get a better judgment. I was reading and I kind of watched bits of him. He didn't really throw the ball super far, no long ball this game, which again, I'm a Tom Brady fan. Tom Brady's quick, efficient, gets the ball out, short passes. But we have to be able to, in today's league, you have to be able to throw the ball far. So that's a question. Defensively, though, I mean, our pieces are clicking together. It's fun to watch the defense now. What they did with the Vikings, I remember when we needed a stop in the end of the game, they gave us that. And clearly they showed up against the Raiders. I think the Chargers, a primetime game, everybody's going to be watching now. This is where Tyson's really got to step up. Now all eyes are on him. I think after Sunday's game, we can get a better judgment if this is going to be a really big turning point. It'll be week 7 or 8?
8.
Week 8.
Yeah.
I think then we can really okay, are we actually going to take steps forward? Are we going to be able to be in the hunt at all? I don't know. But again, it's kind of early to judge. It's a home game for Tyson. He had his whole family there. It was fun to see. But going on the road, facing a decent Chargers team is going to be a good points.
Well, the Lions lost.
I saw badly.
So, this whole thing starts to become something a little bit more because now we're looking at, and Chicago is dead last in the division. However, it's a division in which Detroit is leading with a 5-2 record. So it is entirely possible that within the next 2 to 3 games, we start to see the Chicago Bears in a surprising second place. And
I agree.
then the Detroit Lions are going to come one more time. We've got the Detroit Lions one more time around. So if you just consider that possibility, then you might be, if we could just mentally say that the Chicago Bears are going to beat the Detroit Lions coming around this next time, no matter who the quarterback is, then we're talking about 3-5 versus 5-3. And then the question is, over the last 8 games, can we make up those 2 games? Because I think the Detroit Lions have overperformed, and I do think that the Chicago Bears underperformed. And I don't think that the Minnesota Vikings or the Green Bay Packers are getting it together either.
Yeah. I think the conference is up for grabs, we're at a point right now where we take a step back. Sunday, we got to win Sunday for us to really be in that question. And say we were to beat the Lions that Thanksgiving week, I think it is, these losses, blowing the loss against the Vikings wasn't good. But I don't know. I'm an optimistic fan. Of course, I think we're going to go in and win. I want to believe that. I just don't want to get my heart hurt.
Well, do you want to hear what's great? What usually happens when a team gets embarrassed? They refocus their effort, and they don't want to get embarrassed because these are grown men.
Yeah.
So guess who the Detroit Lions are playing next Monday?
Shoot, I don't know. Is
the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, okay. I'll actually tune into that.
And the Raiders are going to be looking for payback here because they did not like the result that they got. They were this was smash mouth football from the beginning to the end. And save for, I do want to stress, and I do think we should point out that the one problem on the Chicago Bears offense yesterday was a left tackle still by the name of Larry Borum, who had 3 major penalties.
I read that the Bears had penalties or something.
And he specifically had 3 major penalties at very inopportune times, which took away and ended a couple of drives. And he got 2 holdings. One of them took away two big plays. Were pulled back from holding, and then he went offside, and I think we were at 2nd and 7, which turned it into a 2nd and 12. You just, when you get behind the sticks and you start to have to go that longer distance, and you're not helping your team, you're hurting your team.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I don't have a lot bad to say about him. This team came together. They blocked. Tyson Bagent made all the reads, made all the throws, looked great in the pocket, only had 1 sack the entire game.
Oh, wow.
Very, very elusive, which I was surprised. I did not think he would be as elusive. And when he needed to make a first down, I think he ran for 2 first downs.
Wow.
One at the beginning of the game, in the second drive of the game. Towards the end, I think he ran for about 14 yards. I think he ended up with 12 yards rushing, something like that, which is no big deal. Like not a huge, not a huge rushing stat. 3 rushes for 24 yards, and then you consider he probably lost 7 yards on the sack, so he had 3 rushes for about 30 yards.
Wow.
So
did you see that one pass where he was not looking? I saw that. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of shifty. Where was Cole Kmet?
Cole Kmet was very quiet this game. He was blocking the entire game.
Oh, okay.
Like he was being used in a different, and I think it was Mercedes Lewis, I think his name is. Ended up being the only tight end with a catch. He had a big catch. He had a big timely catch as well. But this was about the receivers, and this was about getting and I want to say, because it was so weird to see. Monte Foreman does a great screen pass.
Oh.
And several times they got him the ball in I was just perfect. And you could see that the Bears are not really comfortable with that screen pass yet, because it almost the offensive linemen were standing in the way of the pass as he's making it. and then they just come up in front of them and they take their blocks and they start to move. And they're going to get better at this as time goes on. I mean, this is a team that's steadily improving. They're getting better and better and better in this offensive line, and they're working together. And nothing makes you better than being able to celebrate the big victories. Be able to celebrate pushing a team around, just to let you know, hey, these are grown men that we are pushing around right now. And I think that this team is probably on the cusp of at least being mediocre, if not great, mediocre, which is a sad sight, obviously. But look, we haven't reached the halfway point. So 3 and the halfway point, and then you go, 6-2 over the next one. You finish 9-7. You might win the division with 9-7.
Okay, I think what I've been seeing is, personally, I think NFL this season overall is very mediocre. Like, there's just no team out there that, I guess the 49ers are pretty good. Like, I like watching them. Their offense is insane, but like, there's just no team that's like dominating, I feel. Why not go, especially when I would say it's like the worst division. Like, I don't know what's up with these Midwest divisions, but they're so bad. Why not like build from this and possibly win it?
Here's the funny thing. When it comes to scoring and differential, the only team the only team really close to them is the Buffalo Bills at 4-3, who've had a weak defense.
Wow.
And but the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar is just doing Lamar Jackson stuff. And he's the greatest at all of football right now.
Really?
Whether he can be the greatest quarterback. Look, I'm from Louisville originally, so Lamar Jackson is near and dear to my heart. He is my Heisman guy. He is my MVP. I'm not a Baltimore Ravens fan, but I'm a big time Lamar Jackson fan. He's such a great member. And when I moved out of Louisville, I went to go live in Palm Beach, Florida, which is where he's from. So,
got a place in your heart.
Right. He's just got that place in my heart. So I'm always wishing the best for him until he plays the Bears. Then I hope he gets sacked for, 900 yards. But the other one, which is surprising, by the way, is the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have the defense this year that they've been lacking for a long, long time. The only bad thing that they have going for them, Matt Nagy, he's the offensive coordinator there.
I can't stand that guy. But you don't hear much about, Patrick Mahomes. But like, it's not like they're scoring like an amount of points, consistently at least. It's their defense is keeping them in games.
What they did last night. They
scored 31.
Yeah,
right?
He had 4 touchdown passes, and I want to say 340 yards. He had a big come out game.
Wow.
So now, got what was the piece that we wanted to cover? Oh, we wanted Maddie to have a rant.
What do I rant about when we win, though?
We needed Maddie's rant. What is it that's driving you crazy about the Chicago Bears? Is going to become what's a negative that you see on this team right now that you think is going to become a big time positive? Floor is yours.
Okay, let me think. If it wasn't like, I don't know right now if I see necessarily any negatives on the field besides our like lack of discipline, but I worry that people think this like Justin Fields versus Tyson Bagent like debate is going to be like the breaking point of us. And to me, I think Justin Fields is our starter still. I fully believe that. But I feel like if Justin's back and he has a great game, I think we really can build off of that. I'm always going to be a Justin Fields fan. I just think he like has the athleticism. I like watching him. I just wish he would get the ball out quicker. But I don't know. There's nothing like, I think because I didn't get to watch too much, there's nothing that really makes me mad except the people on Twitter. That's really it. Like right now, I'm kind of happy there. So.
All right. Well, then let's say this. When the game ball was presented to Tyson Bagent yesterday, do you know who was cheering the loudest?
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. It was Justin Fields.
It was Justin Fields.
Oh
there is no
God.
Controversy right now. There is no controversy with this team.
People on Twitter, like they're trying to depict everything. Like I saw people zooming in on his face, and I was like, What are we doing, people? That's what's so toxic about like Twitter and like the social media fan base, because like, aren't we supposed to be a fan base? Like, why are we trying to pinpoint two quarterbacks that like what they both want success, you know? I don't know. I When I watch videos of them like cheering and stuff like that, like they were dancing, like I think the chemistry on the field and off the field is one and one. Like it's really fun to watch. And that's
Yes.
why I don't really see like, too many negatives, because when we were losing, I thought it was a lot on the coaches. And I think the coaches are starting to finally see what is working for us. So I don't know, but yeah, I saw a lot of videos. Like I thought Justin Fields was going crazy for Tyson. Like,
He
I mean,
was.
he's 23. He's a D2 legend. Like this is like a big moment. Any good person would be excited for him. So
Well, and let's put some context on that, because I think at the end of this, here's what matters. Justin Fields, I think he likes being in shape.
I agree.
But Justin Fields could play anywhere and make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He just saw his understudy basically create an opportunity and create a career for himself in one game. So this kid is shown, even if he's never a starter in the league, even if I'm wrong and I think that he's got takes. Well, let's say that he doesn't really, and that this side reel sort of lack of a long passing. And by the way, they did not have to throw the ball long
Okay,
to
fair.
do what they did. Remember, they didn't explosive plays. The Bears had 0 explosive plays.
Wow.
But they didn't have to have any.
Yeah.
And you can say, when you say explosive play, then you're saying the quarterback threw the ball for further than 10 yards and then or 15 yards. But they had plays that were longer than 15 yards, because D'Onta Foreman had a 17-yard catch.
Wow.
But it was rack yards. They did have plays down the field, but if you don't have to do that,
why do it? I
then
agree.
why would you create more? Like you're bringing on a young quarterback who you don't know if he's got this and the accuracy to do that downfield. So you're trying to win a game. You're trying to have him just manage your game, and for that process, he got an A+. He managed that game appropriately and properly, and we didn't get to see whether or not he had to throw the ball down the field. Now the Chargers are going to be a weaker defense.
Okay.
Because say what you will about the Los Angeles Raiders, the Los Angeles Raiders secondary was actually one of the top secondaries in the league. So they just haven't had a great season. But athletically speaking, they are big, strong. So this was not having to throw to them for most of the game, or at least being able to beat them consistently all game long on short routes, made for a very frustrating game for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't get to see that long passing game because we didn't need to see it. But when we need to see it, that's when we'll find out, who is Tyson Bagent, and the league will find out. So Justin Fields, I think he's just excited that his buddy has just created his life. I mean,
for himself. Like,
I think these rookie contracts, I think he's an undrafted free agent. So I think his rookie contract is going to be, I want to say 360,000 is the league minimum right now.
Okay.
You can't live on $360,000 in the NFL, and you sacrifice your whole life to get there, and you need a little bit more, and you only have a couple years in the league, most probably. So he's probably going to renegotiate. He's probably going to get a better deal, and he'll probably get a couple $1 million to be a backup to Justin Fields, if that's the path.
Yeah.
Or he might come out in free agency after a couple years, and it's going to be great for him. But he's going to have he's going to get. I mean, they don't have NIL here, but he'll get some deals. He'll be driving. Yeah, he'll be driving around in a car that somebody around here is going to pay for him and stuff like that. He's going to have a decent opportunity, but he really stepped up and he really for himself, and that should be noted. And that Justin Fields was the happiest man on the planet for him. And I think this is a lot for Justin Fields' character, and the fact that, like I said, if he's off a few games, this team gets better. He gets inserted back into the lineup. And then guess what? They're going to start helping him because he's got that half a second longer to make a play. He's got
Yeah.
that second longer to make that play because now they're feeling more inspired and they're more confident. And he doesn't have to go out and he doesn't have to score 24 points. He only has to score 20 points because if the Bears only give up 17 or 14 points a game, then he now has an easier path to play the game the way that he should play it, and they should coach it the way that he can play it. So I think they're onto something.
Wait, going back to Tyson Bagent, I saw this. I can't take credit for it on Twitter, but I made a comment. I called him Tyson Chicken Nugget, and someone commented. They're like, they should do a sponsorship. Tyson should do a sponsorship every time he scores a touchdown. That's genius marketing right there.
The Chicago Bears owe it to themselves to have the chicken tenders at the stadium be called Tyson Foods.
That would be so smart. Oh my God.
There should be a Tyson Foods meal.
Number one fan.
How are they not doing this yet? Maddie, you're failing right now, and you got to make this happen.
Oh, no, I think I'm going to email them. That's just genius marketing right there. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? When I saw that on Twitter, I can't take credit. But I was like, if he ain't going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Well, now, since he's following you on Instagram because you're Insta famous.
No, he's not. He just, saw some things. He should follow me.
Yeah.
Back.
We should get him on one day and talk to him.
One day I'll try.
And then he can be like, oh, wow, I actually do have a fan over here and somebody who does say that I should start.
You were a fan. You were the first fan. I just like his name.
All right, so coming up, we have the Chargers on Sunday Night Football.
Can't wait.
Let's get your prediction. What do you think the final score is going to be? Bears versus the San Diego, Los Angeles, Anaheim, wherever they are now, Chargers.
Wait, me? Are you asking me? Oh my God, sorry. I think we're going to score 24. I think we're going to score 24. I think our defense is give up 17.
24-17 is going to be the final score. I'm going to go for another big win, and I don't think that they're going to be pressured nearly as much. I think that they're going to come together a little bit better, and I think that this one's going to be a very lopsided and surprising 34-14 Chicago win. They're going to come in big time, hard and heavy, and they're going to punch the Chargers in the mouth early. And they are going to finally start to pressure Justin Herbert, get a couple of sacks, and what is the guy's name? Oh, God. Kelly, the running back. They're going to stomp him down, and they are going to stop him. This is going to be a big coming out party for the Chicago Bears on Sunday Night Football, where everybody's watching.
Everyone's watching. And it's crazy. I think Tyson Bagent, I'd be on TikTok and I see video after video of him telling his story, and it's just so cool. He doesn't have to be the starter. He really doesn't, but he point. And I do think this upcoming weekend will be a bigger point. I mean, is he gonna show up? Is he gonna really prove himself? Or is he gonna fall under the pressure? I don't know. I'm excited. I have full faith, but I just can't wait.
Tyson Bagent gonna show up, he's gonna show out. And we're not going to have a quarterback controversy, but people are going to be asking a lot of questions where did this guy come from? And we're going to feel really good knowing that if anything's wrong with Justin Fields and it's going to take longer than these two games, that the Chicago Bears are going to be in good hands.
I agree.
So until next time, we're going to have to do a pregame this time.
Yeah.
And I think we got to do more content during the course of the week because people love Maddie's rants.
Okay, I guess I gotta get mad, but I'm not super mad right now.
We'll make you mad. I'll let you watch the game film of Larry Borum, and I'm sure you're gonna be super mad. Anyway, until next time, I'm Bleeves.
I'm Maddie.
And we will see you guys soon.